Do you want to learn more about how to manifest your SP? Today, I'm going to talk about the hidden issue, what you're struggling with, where the block is. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is JFO. This channel is called Sexy Fit Love because sexy is your vision, fit is your habits, and love is your commitment. And that is the three-part formula to manifest your dreams. So today we're going to really dive deep into specific person, SP. This is a big topic in the Neville community, and I want to talk about it today. So I had a viewer, hi if you're watching, comment on one of my videos and ask about this. So let's really talk about it. And I have a kind of cool process and flow you can use. So you want to think of it as mirror one, mirror two, and the disclaimer. Let's discuss. What does that mean? I'm sure that's what you're thinking right now. So let me explain. Mirror one and mirror two is where we're going to find the information you need to focus your consciousness into the timeline of you being with your SP. Let me break it down. So mirror one is what are the thoughts and emotions, I like to call it the internal landscape. What's happening in your internal landscape in the moment of now, right now, around the circumstance of your SP? What are you thinking and feeling and ruminating on about your SP right now? Now, everyone's going to have a different process with this because you may be divorced from this person and wanting them back, or maybe you're dating them and you're just not talking right now. Everyone's going to have a different process. So obviously in the comments below, let me know your specific situation if you're really struggling with this. But what you want to do is you want to riff in a notebook, figure out what you're ruminating on. What is the internal landscape of your thoughts and emotions saying the commentary of your SP right now? That is mirror one. We need to figure out what you're thinking about this person. Mirror two is the deep rooted subconscious assumptions, beliefs, and thoughts and feelings that you've thought over time about the topic of relationships. This is so powerful when you really break down what you're thinking about the person, what you actually have really created a belief around, or what you're conscious of being around when it comes to the actual bigger topic of love, relationships, intimacy, romance, if you will. Okay. So we really need to unpack these two things. And let me tell you what you're going to do once you riff on that. This is how you're going to figure out where the block is. Once you really figure out what you're thinking, feeling, and assuming when it comes to the two layers of the mirror, that is how you can start to rework it. And we're going to talk on Thursday more about how you do that. But you have to understand the true concept that there's nothing to change but self, that everything is a mirror. Everything in this universe is a mirror. Now, it's not so literal. So for example, if someone is screaming at you, that doesn't mean that you have screaming and anger within, right? A lot of times we really have to figure out what we're just focused on. What are we saying? What is the story that we're telling? What do we believe to be true? What are our AKA assumptions? What posture are we assuming, right? The word assumption is we're also assuming the position, if you will, right? So we are in the state of something. Now, a lot of you may say, but this circumstance is real and it's raw. And so, yes, you may have to be with where you're at before you change it, right? So don't be hard on yourself with this stuff. But you have to understand that it is a mirror. And the biggest piece of advice I can give you is once you figure out the mirror, realize that, again, nothing to change but self, that it's the self concept within the construct. So, for example, with mirror one, it's not, when you start to really unpack what you're thinking about the person, it's not necessarily, okay, now I need to change what I think he's doing or what I think she's doing, right? So for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say in mirror one, you realize that you start to riff and you start to realize that all day, every day, you're saying this person is ignoring me. They're not responding to me. They don't love me, right? So you may think that the mirror change needs to be a thought such as, they're now calling me. They're now reaching out to me. They do love me. Now that could potentially be the new thought, the new story, the new focus, if you will, right? Whether it's a visualization or robotic affirming or however you're gonna get to the new. You can't get to the new until you know the old, until you know what you've been doing with the mirror, right? But this is the key. It may not be that specific switch. It actually may be that now you start to assume the position that, wait a minute, I am worthy of so much love. And maybe you're walking around now and it's a self-concept robotic affirming, right? Maybe you're walking around and saying, I am seen, I am chosen, I am always chosen, I am always chosen, right? Because once you go to layer 2 of the mirror, you may realize that the true block is them ignoring you is actually a subconscious safety mechanism. If you're so used to being ignored and you feel that that's safe and being loved and adored may feel uncomfortable, you may subconsciously be manifesting a situation where your SP is ignoring you, right? So sometimes the new story is really less about them and more about you and the I am affirmation of what you are affirming. Now remember, it's not just some silly affirmation, it's a posture. We're assuming the position of the new state of you being chosen. You are always chosen. You are always chosen, and this person is choosing you right now. And one disclaimer. So let's discuss the really cool disclaimer I want to weave into this, okay? I am someone who is in love with the Lord. I'm in a relationship with God. I love Jesus, okay? And my journey of walking with Jesus for almost 8 years has been so beautiful. And I love merging it with Neville's teachings because I truly believe that they're all one. It's all the same teachings, just different semantics, right? But when we recognize that there is God's will and our will. So for example, I don't know if you've ever seen that picture of the girl holding the little teddy bear, but behind Jesus is the bigger teddy bear. And really, he secretly has something so much better for you, but you're clinging and attaching and squeezing and suffocating the little tiny teddy bear. And you just don't even know the gloriousness that God has for you, right? So the disclaimer I want to say too is that a huge piece of this is a lot of us in the Neville world with this specific person work. Now, I'm here to tell you that anything's possible. You can truly, with the power of your mind, see a shift in a person outside of you. This is not forcing it. This is sourcing it, right? We're not forcing someone to change. We are sourcing it from the power of our mind, and we're doing it with boundaries. So we're off on our own, sourcing with the power of our mind, and that's how the mirror starts to shift, right? However, what if there is a small chance that this SP is your small teddy bear and God is a bigger teddy bear for you, okay? And so the disclaimer here is there is a destiny component here, a view of the full movie and story of your life that you can't see in your tiny focus of being the character in the movie, right? And I think a lot of people in the Neville world do not talk about this. They do not talk about this, that there is that destiny component and that will of God, right? That will of God and surrendering. And when we do that, when we surrender and say, I trust you, that you know the bigger vision, it's a belief shifting. It's a shifting into the belief of the higher power doing it, right? And if you're from the Abraham Hicks world, it's the non-physical part of you doing it, right? If you're a Christian, Jesus is on it, okay? So you have to understand that there's this destiny component. And I really, truly believe that when you recognize that there is a destiny component and that if there's a bigger teddy bear, I don't need this, that is going to actually put you into a state of detachment when it comes to your SP. And when you take that with the mirror work, the self-concept shifting of the story, when you merge that together, that is when you will be unstoppable. And that is when you will see the changes in your SP. But another thing I just want to say too, is there is, of course, time and space in the 3D reality, right? So it may take persistence. It may take a time. It may take months. Now it doesn't have to, right? We can always say like, oh, this is going to be easy. This could take 3 days. But then if you say it's going to take 3 days and then it doesn't, you may be squeezing and attaching to it like that tiny teddy bear, right? So we really want to bring in detachment as well to this. And so that is the formula of how you can truly this time fix what's blocking you in manifesting your SP. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you loved it, make sure to subscribe. Watch me. I go live every Tuesday and Thursday. Well, I have a new video every Tuesday and Thursday. And I want you to go down below and work with me. There's so many different links and different ways to work with me. I also have another channel called Destiny Vibes with JFO, where I really teach you your hero's journey roadmap in the sky and the day you were born, your love letter from God that describes your journey as the character in this movie. It's fun. It's basically the new version of astrology. I'm innovating it. And make sure to join us for the Mindset Fix bundle. Click the link and do the full bundle. You're going to get my 3 mini courses and access to me in a live Facebook private community where we can do conscious creation together. You're going to get 21 days of videos. It's amazing, and it's only $33. So you got to join, and I'll talk to you next time.